Bad loss in Montreal, bad loss in Saskatchewan last time they were there, bad loss at home to BC, and that's below the standards that they'd shown in the first half of the season, and quite frankly it has to be fixed, and I'll be very interested to see what version of this team shows up Sunday in Regina.
Who has to play better?
Well, based on that last game in Regina, you can't really put that on the offense. They put a lot of points on the board. Really, it was, and really defensively, for the most part, and I say for the most part guardedly, they had a pretty decent game, but there were breakdowns and big plays. And when it comes to playing the Saskatchewan Roughriders, it's always about defending against the big plays, and that's given them the most trouble. That group of receivers there, particularly Andy Fantuz, has just been unstoppable from the Stampeder perspective, and they've got to figure out a way to do it.
In October and November, your running backs have to hit on all cylinders. What does Joffrey have to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, Joffrey has just not been a factor the last few games, and that's partly due to the fact that opposing teams are going out of their way to stop him, but partly I think the offensive line has not really delivered the way they need to, and that's been a factor. Joffrey is closing in on another 1,000-yard season, but boy, oh boy, a third straight rushing title looks like a long shot right now.
There has been some weaknesses deep lately, Al. Who has to step up?
Well, particularly that Saskatchewan game. For the most part, they had a nice game, but they took some chances. Milton Collins early had the interception that turned into a quick 6, but I truly believe that kind of got into the mind frame that they were all going for interceptions. And both Brandon Smith and Milton Collins had tough games that game in Regina, and both of those guys, I think it's really incumbent on them to step up and not let the same thing happen against the likes of Getzlaff, Claremont, and Fantuz inside receivers.
This is a team that's dropped 3 of its last 4. Try and give me a perspective. How important is this game?
Well, on so many levels. Obviously, in the standings, it would give them a real leg up to get a win in terms of hosting that West Division final. And let me tell you, they don't want to go back to Regina in mid to late November for a West Division final. So that part of it's huge. But again, we talk about the mental aspect of this, and they're struggling right now. They're in a slump. John Hufnagel likes to talk about peaks and valleys. They're definitely in a valley right now. They've got to get out of it, and that's why this win is so much more important between the ears, I think, than it is in the standings.